going on, y'all? Whee! Man, it's been a long week. I'm so glad to be home. I hope you all are fantastic. I hope you guys are having a great day. Welcome back to the channel. If you're new, consider subscribing. I greatly appreciate it. So, in today's episode, we are going to seam seal with the caulk gun the rest of the underside. Once that dries, it's time to Herky line and the bottom of the truck is done. Aside of the pump tunnel, dry shaft tunnel. So the plan for the weekend, because as you all know, I like setting goals, keeps me on track. Plan for the weekend is going to be complete the underside of the Samurai, clean up the firewall, get the firewall painted, and then the entire bottom side of the truck is done and the firewall is done. That means we can lower it down and we can work on and focus on the inside of the Samurai. So I added a few braces in here. I added this one and I added this one. Reason being is because they're gonna have the boom box back here, and there was nothing really here to strengthen this side up, so I decided to add a brace. I got holes drilled every 6 inches, which I'm gonna plug weld for that. And the same goes with this. This has got holes on the other side that I'm gonna plug weld up. I cut this seam back to match this seam over here. So now, like I said, basically the only thing that's left is we're gonna seam seal all the gaps so no water gets in it. And it's not much, just a little bit. I'm not even gonna bother to put it on time lapse. Shut this off. It's quiet. 1 second. Yeah, I'm not even gonna bother to time lapse because it's gonna take me like 5 minutes to caulk. So while the seam sealer is drying, this wall behind me, right here, I've got signs to go up on this wall, dress it up. I'm gonna go see my buddy Jay at O'Reilly's. He messaged me and said I've got a whole bunch of display things and banners and such. So instead of me, because you know I'm always on this side of the wall because the sun's in my eyes, this will dress this wall up really nice. And it's something I wanted to do too. Not that it's like breaking news or anything, but I've got poll tags from all the states that I've worked in, which is almost, I want to say definitely over 30 states that I worked in. I have all the poll tags for those states, and I'm going to order a map of the United States, and I'm going to pin the poll tags in the according states that I've worked in, so I know which states I haven't worked in, and then I can go out there and work. And my goal, I know it says nothing to do with the build, but my goal is to have worked in every single state. So, but that's not why you guys are here. It's just a little added bonus, kind of like a hug. No, not a hug. Let me shut this air off too before this compressor goes on. It scared the shit out of me like every single time it does. I'm glad to be back. I got a haircut. I don't know if you can tell because I got a haircut, I think it was on Monday or something when I came home, and here we are on Friday. But I shaved for you guys. So, but on a serious note though, enough of the bullshit. Like I said, once this gets done, things are gonna start moving quickly. I have a plan in my head on how I wanna get things done. Once the bottom side of the Samurai is done, we're gonna do the inside of the Samurai. We're gonna start cleaning parts, painting parts. I already started with some minor things. The steering column's painted. I've got to sand the dashboard down. I got to actually power wash it first because it's full of mold from the south. This is what happens when you live down here. So it was left outside. So I got to power wash it and sand it down. I'm gonna paint the dash so it looks nice and nice. Mwah. And then we're gonna get the chassis cleaned up and painted up. There's some spots I gotta weld that I forgot about. Not that I forgot about, I didn't get to. I just little things that I added on. So get that done. And then the engine. The engine is gonna be really cool. It's gonna take a little bit of time, not too much time. I'm gonna pull the head off. I wanna do a leak down. Well, I can't do a leak down on it now. Actually, I can. I gotta pull the rockers off. A leak down, basically the way that works is if your valves in the cylinder head have an excessive amount of wear on them, or your piston and rings have excessive amount of wear on them, a leak down test will tell you the kind of like almost the strength of your engine, but you can also get a false reading because the engine's been sitting for so long. So now there's no more oil coated in the cylinders to seal the piston and rings up. But at least it'll give me some sort of a ballpark. I gotta get a starter. Well, I gotta get the flywheel on the engine, hook the starter up to it, and then I could do a compression test on the engine. Because I actually know nothing about this engine, and it would kind of suck to be putting all these parts on it, and all of a sudden I find out, oh my God, I got a hole in the piston or something. That would really suck. So I got to pull the head off the engine and have the head cleaned, milled. Milling is when they refinished the surface, the mating surface from the bottom of the head where it mates to the top of the cylinder, the top of the block. And that's called decking. When you clean that surface, you're decking the block. So I may end up doing that too, but we'll see. I don't want to get too crazy because ultimately I want to build it's called a 22R/20R hybrid. And basically what that is a 22R bottom, and RE is fuel injected, which I don't have. I have an R. So it's a 22R bottom end, bigger pistons. I want to say it's a 2.4 liter. Pretty sure it's a 2.4 liter. And a 20R top end. So the head would be off the 20R. And what that does is it bumps the compression up, and for some reason that cylinder head must flow really well with that combination, and it builds pretty good horsepower. Which, again, we're not building a race car, but we want to build something that's going to kind of move out of its own way. I've got a really lopey cam for the engine, so it should sound really good. I've got Spintech mufflers, so it should actually sound really, really good over like a Borla or some sort in this. So we're gonna end up doing like 2.5-inch exhaust. I've got to build a header or get a header. I don't want to build a header because I don't have the stuff to do it. But the exhaust manifold isn't gonna work, and I don't think a header is gonna work because I narrowed the frame. All these things you got to think about. So anyway, we'll get this seam seal on, and we'll be back at you in a hot minute. All right, guys, so this is seam sealer in a caulk gun. Same thing I used with the brush where I was dabbing it, which actually, no, it's like that, dabbing it. But this is, all things, all jokes aside, this is seam sealer. It's flexible, and it is basically like waterproofing. So flexible as in heating and cooling the contraction of the metals, when it's very humid out or it's very cold out. Obviously, metal expands and contracts. Well, this is flexible. So just a 101 on seam sealer in case you didn't know. All right, so we used a tube of seam sealer. Basically just wiped it all in, all the seams. I gotta go run to, the supply house. I gotta get some more, but you get the picture. All right, guys, got my firecracker hair going. It's a little humid out. So I allowed the seam sealer to dry. And now I'm gonna start the Herky Liner. I'm gonna put it on a time lapse. And oh, while I had some spare time, you can see I put some of my signs up there. They're from all over the United States. I collect little signs. I borrow them. One day I'll give them back, but not right now. Gotta borrow them. So we're gonna spin the camera around. I'm gonna time lapse. Here we go. Wow, look at that. That is unbelievable how gorgeous that looks. Obviously it's still wet. It's got to flash over. I got to use the brush and dab all the spots, you know, the corners and what have you. And what I did was I put a line of tape down so when this dries, I can peel this tape back and I'll have a nice crisp edge for the seams, the rubberized undercoat. Man, that looks so nice. See all the seam sealer I laid down? You don't even see it anymore. It's like magic. Boom! Now you see it, now you don't. Man, that came out so nice. Whew, I made a mess of myself, but it's all good. It was worth it. So I'm gonna go ahead and dab with the paintbrush. The spots I missed. You wanna do 2 coats of this stuff, so 1 coat, 24 hours, let it dry, 2nd coat, and boom, it's done. So let's get her done. I want to show you a couple things. Very happy how this came out. You don't have to be perfect with doing certain things. I mean, nobody's perfect, but we all try and aim for perfection. But the reality of it, you know, it just doesn't happen. So I want to show you some stuff that might have looked kind of questionable or look kind of funky. I don't want to say questionable, look kind of funky, you know. So I'm gonna spin the camera around, you take a look and you tell me how I did. So now remember, there has to be a 2nd coat on this, but remember the hole that was there that I had welded up and plugged up and then seam sealed. Look at that whole corner, how beautiful that corner looks. You know, everything looks like it's almost, you know, factory. I mean, I'm not hiding anything. All I did was just roll undercoat on it, you know, the Herky Liner. Look, you don't even see it. Once I applied a 2nd coat, that seam is gone. I don't know what happened. My camera had a meltdown, but I mean, look at the seam. Do you see the seam where I stitched it together? No. I've got the light on it and the camera right on it, and you can barely even notice it. So the point that I'm getting at is don't beat yourself up over things. You know, there are tricks up our sleeve that we could use, you know, to hide things, and this is one of them. Nobody's perfect. I don't aim for perfection, but you get where I'm going with this. You know, just all these little things, these little secrets, you know, that you learn through building. Look up, the back of the truck looks beautiful. Look at this. Look at this. Oh my God. No, but seriously though, it looks gorgeous. Very happy with how this came out. Again, we've got to apply another coat to it, but it looks gorgeous. Very happy. That's gonna do for today's video. I've got some errands I gotta run. You know, beans that I just got home from, you know, from Storm. I want to thank you guys for your support. It means a lot to me. It really, truly does. If you're new to the channel, please consider subscribing, share the video. Maybe this build isn't, you know, up your alley. Doesn't mean that this is the only type of things that I build. You know, we've got my son's Bel Air that we're gonna do. This is gonna be next. And then I've got my Cameo. And I don't think many people know what a Cameo is, but we'll save that for another day. So why don't you do me a favor? Hit that like button. Share with your friends. Say, I know this guy that built some real cool things. It helped me out. But seriously, though. That's going to do it for today. I know I said it already like 5 times, but I'm a little high from the fumes. Have a great day, guys. We'll catch you on the next one. And thanks for your support. See you soon. What's going on, y'all? Welcome back. We are still in Baltimore. Got some weather coming in. Got my coffee. Wawa coffee. Nothing exciting happened today. Our time started at like 6 a.m. So we're in a different staging area in a different town in Maryland. Different company, same stuff. So you know the deal. Spinning it around. We brought this is the company I'm with, Danella. Brought a bunch of trucks with us. There's a bunch of rows on the other side, which you can't see. You can see the clouds coming in, the weather. And those school buses, they're taking us to our hotel. So instead of bringing all these bucket trucks to the hotel and jacking up the parking lot, that's how they transport us. A lot of utilities won't use school buses. I guess they're trying to save money. Who knows? They'll have charter buses for us, but we got school buses. Is what it is. Again, I'll take your money any day of the week if you want to give it to me. So I'm not picky. Hopefully tomorrow we get something interesting, but as of today, there was absolutely nothing worth videoing, except the area that we were in, which was really beautiful. I should have taken video of that, but I wasn't paying attention. It's kind of out of it today. So, till tomorrow. Hasta mañanas. Finally going home. Flying out of Trenton. Another day in the airport. Whole day in the airport. Ah.